can Sue survive the Mesozoic era? Today on Go Checkers, we will be taking Sue, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, to put her to the test to see if she can survive the Mesozoic era from the Triassic to the Cretaceous period. So, grab a snack, friends, and family as we follow Sue's journey through the Mesozoic era to different places on Earth. We will be scoring her chances of survival in each area. First, environment. How will Sue adapt to them? Second, diet. Is what Sue eats in her normal time and what she will eat in these different timelines. And lastly, competition. What predators will she go up against to survive? And at the end, we will combine all the data and give her a score of how well she can survive. Sue will be in these three locations in the three timelines: Europe, South America, and Africa. Sue, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Tyrant Lizard King, or the Tyrant Queen. Sue is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, obviously. She is about 12 to 15 feet tall, weighing 10 to 11 tons, and potentially breaking the 11-ton mark, and reaches 41 feet long, maybe 42. She is a well-known predator, proved to be a battle-hardened warrior, with an imposing build making her the largest Cretaceous predator ever found, along with Scotty. She is very large, living at least at her late 20s, if not early 30s. She may have moved 50 miles per hour, but due to the body mass boundary being too low, some people say that 21 miles per hour was more realistic. Same pace as an elephant, we think. She is capable of getting bites to the horns and frills of Triceratops, tailbones of Montosaurus, from preventing them from running away or fighting back, and biting faces of Ankylosaurus, by disabling prey effectively by avoiding their weapons and small chances of getting hurt, even biting off tails of other T-Rexes from making them hard to stand up or run away, using their head to bash opponents from side to side at a force of 4,500 psi, and can make a 180-degree pivot on a single foot. Now, let's get to it. Triassic period. During the Triassic period in Europe, the climate was generally warm and equable with no polar ice caps. The continent was part of the larger supercontinent Pangaea, which had a broad arid belt extending across much of its landmass. This results in a hot and dry climate for much of continental Europe. The average global temperature at being of the Triassic was estimated to be around 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, which seems perfect temperature for Sue because T-Rexes prefer temperature ranging 73 degrees Fahrenheit. This means that the area Sue will most likely be desert with vegetation and rivers through the desert in Europe. Sue will barely survive in these climates. With her smarts, the best thing she can do to survive these contract climates is to lay underneath a tree for shade. Sue's survival will depend on her ability to adapt to this new environment and the potential threats it posed, including competition for resources, predators, and climate changes. Speaking of resources, let's get to the menu. A Tyrannosaurus Rex like Sue would need to consume a substantial amount of meat daily, likely around 140 kilograms or 310 pounds. This is equivalent to the caloric intake and about 8 humans on 2,500 calories. A diet. Some estimates suggest a T-Rex could consume even more, possibly reaching 600 kilograms, 1,320 pounds of food per day. Since we don't know much about the Gristillosauruses and the Skeletema size and weight, it looks like Sue will be snacking and killing on Platysauruses, a sauropod formula that lived in the late Triassic period, 214 to 240 million years ago. Since they are one of the big plant eaters in their time, they're about 9 feet tall in quadrupedal and 13 feet tall if rooted up. This is just a prediction of its height. They are about 16 to 33 feet long and weigh 1,300 to 8,800 pounds. The Gold Categories team was researching of how many Platysauruses it takes to fill her up. For a Tyrannosaurus Rex like Sue would likely need to consume a significant amount of meat daily. Estimates suggest a T-Rex could need 40,000 to 100,000 calories per day to satisfy its daily caloric needs. This could translate to around 140 kilograms, 310 pounds of meat daily as before, or even more depending on the activity level and metabolism, due to Sue eating 4,000 calories or more, and with Glyceros being only 9 to 13 feet tall, Sue would probably need to hunt and kill 1 to 2 pletysauruses per day, so we think. How many pletysauruses do you think Sue could eat per day? Let us know in the comments. And now, let's get to the competition. In Europe, there weren't that many predators for Sue to compete against. The only predators we know is the Leasterners, weighs 280 to 660 pounds, stand 6 feet tall, and reach lengths of 17 feet. The other predator is Phytosaurus, from the Phytosauridae family, weighing 25 to 500 kilograms, reaching lengths of up to 5 to 6 meters. So how could Sue deal with these predators? Well, she would just dominate these predators in size and power. But the one that causes Sue a little bit of trouble between these two predators will probably be Lilius sternus, with formidable claws and teeth, capable of hunting down and killing prey significantly larger than itself, but not a whole lot of trouble for Sue. She will outmatch them. The environmental score, 9.4 out of 10. Prey score, 8.8 out of 10. And comparative score, a perfect 10. The Triassic ultimate score for Sue in the Triassic period is 9.8 out of 10. Nearly a good score. Why? Why, you may ask? Is it almost a perfect score? Because she has a rifle who has literally no comparison to Challenger, but she might have no trouble adapting to the environment. She might struggle at first, but she'll get used to it, because it's more likely her kind of climate. Well, almost. Up next is the Jurassic period. During the Jurassic period, South America's environment was characterized, by a warm, humid climate with a mix of tropical and subtropical conditions. The breakup of Gondwana in the mid-Jurassic led to the formation of new oceans and a rise in sea levels, impacting continent climate and vegetation. In a hypothetical scenario where Sue, a T-Rex, were transported to South America during the Jurassic period, she would likely struggle to survive due to a different environment and potentially lack of familiar prey. The Jurassic was characterized by lush forests including conifers, cycads, and ferns, which would offer both cover and food sources, but also present challenges for a large predator like Sue. To adapt to the Jurassic period in South America, an organism like Sue would need to adjust to warm, humid, and diverse environment with subtropical forests and the potential for occasionally cold snaps. This would involve both behavioral and potentially some physical changes. During the Jurassic period, South America's climate was warm, generally warm. Specifically, surface water temperatures in low altitudes were around 20 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. We're not so sure if that is what it is on land or in the water. I'm not sure. Comment below what you guys think the temperature was in the Jurassic period in South America. Sue's potential survival strategies, adaptation, Sue's powerful bite and size would still be advantages in hunting larger prey, but she might need to adapt to the new environment and prey types. Territoriality. Establish a territory within the forest could help her protect resources and potentially avoid competition from other predators. Camouflage. The Jurassic forest could provide some degree of camouflage, allowing Sue to ambush prey more effectively. Opportunism. Sue would likely need to adapt opportunistic and take advantage of any opportunities that arise, including scavenging and preying on weaker or less common prey. While Sue's size and strength would offer some advantages, her survival in South America Jurassic would be challenging due to the unfamiliar environment, different prey, and potentially competition. She would need to adapt to the new conditions and develop new hunting strategies to survive. Since Sue was in South America in the Jurassic period, we predict that there aren't any ceratopsians, hadrosaurs, and Cosauruses in that time. There were, however, sauropods, dinosaurs, there in that time, like Archosaurus, possibly the biggest sauropod that makes Sue a velociraptor, weighing 99 to 110 pounds, 131 feet long and 70 feet tall. Yeah, no way Sue would take down an Argentinosaurus by herself. She could target smaller sauropods like Chonkonosaurus, who weighs 19.8 tons, 70.5 feet long, and they may be 26 feet tall. This is debated. But she might have better luck fighting smaller sauropods, but for now, she has to hunt Chonkonosaurus. Honestly, Sue will only be competing against two main predators in South America. But first, let's get to the weak predators. The Raptor, weighing 6.6 pounds, 5 feet long, and 1 to 2 feet tall, about the size of a velociraptor, but she wouldn't go for a dinosaur that small. That'd be like you ordering one chicken wing for dinner. Next is Equirixinatosaurus, weighing 1,800 pounds, 24 to 26 feet long, and 9.8 feet tall. These would be much of a problem. These wouldn't be much of a problem either. These Raptors would likely stay out of Sue's way. It's now time when she meets the opponents that might give her a hard time. The Giganotosaurus, weighing 8 to 9 tons, 43 feet long, and 12 feet tall, and the legendary Pterosaurus, who weighs 6.2 to 9.3 tons and 36 to 43 feet long. Giganotosaurus pack versus Sue. In a fight between Sue, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and a pack of Giganotosaurus, Sue would likely win. Despite the size and numbers advantages of the Giganotosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rexes possess superior intelligence, binocular vision, and a stronger bite force, giving them a significant edge in a one-to-one confrontation. While Giganotosaurus might have a slight size advantage, Tyrannosaurus' overall robustness, agility, and strategic thinking would likely allow them to prevail. We're not so sure if you guys can see those words, but we'll say it out loud. If Sue Tyrannosaurus Rex encountered a Pterosaurus, the encounter will likely be highly unpredictable and potentially dangerous. But they would probably not stay out of each other's ways. Pterosaurus, an apex predator with a massive bite, could be a formidable opponent, while Sue, the largest known T-Rex, would bring her own considerable size and strength. Here's a breakdown of the potential scenario. Number 1. In Italy encounter Pterosaurus. The Pterosaurus would likely be the first to perceive the T-Rex due to the senses of smell and hearing. It would approach cautiously, assessing the situation. Sue the T-Rex would also likely be aware of the large creature, potentially display aggression and intimidation. 2. Possible scenarios. Conflict. If both animals perceive each other as a threat or rival, a fight will likely occur. The massive size and powerful bites of both animals could make this a brutal encounter. Avoidance. If one animal perceives the other as a greater threat, or if the encounter occurs in an area where resources are limited, they might attempt to avoid each other. This could involve subtle maneuvers or retreating. Resources competition. If both animals are looking for prey or a subdual territory, they could end up competing for the same resources, leading to a predation. While both are apex predators, Pterosaurus' size and bite force could allow to prey on small animals. 3. Potential outcomes. T-Rex victory. While unlikely, the T-Rex could win through sheer size and the crushing power of its bite. Pterosaurus victory. If the Pterosaurus is able to land a successful bite, it could potentially overwhelm the T-Rex. Brutal damage. Both animals could sustain injuries or even be killed in a prolonged fight. Acceleration. If one animal is damaged, it could lead to further fighting or even a chase. 4. Factors affecting the outcome. Size and strength. Both animals are massive, but Pterosaurus' bite force is essentially strong. Aggression and territorial. The level of aggression and willingness to defend territory could significantly impact the encounter. Environmental factors. The specific location of the encounter could affect mobility and defense options. Individual differences. Sue and the Pterosaurus would likely have varying levels of experience and individual characteristics. 5. Staying out of each other's ways. It's highly unlikely that they would stay out of each other's way. The sheer size and predatory nature of both animals would make it difficult to avoid confrontations, especially in the environment where resources are scarce. Both would likely perceive the other as a potential threat or a source of competition. The environmental score in the Jurassic period would be 9.6 out of 10. Prey score 8.3 out of 10. Comparative score 7.7 out of 10. The Jurassic Ultimate score is 8.9 out of 10. Not as much as a Jurassic, but this is pretty good for Tyrannosaurus Rex like Sue. Next is Cretaceous period, the fan favorite. During the Cretaceous period, Africa experienced a general warm and wet climate with high sea levels and widespread shallow seas. Much of the continent was submerged under these shallow seas, especially in the late Cretaceous period. The dominant vegetation, including ferns, cycads, gingos, conference, and later flowers planting a diverse array of dinosaurs, including both herbivores and carnivores, thrive in these varied ecosystems. Estimates suggest average temperatures were 7 to 14 degrees Celsius or 13 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, warmer than the modern day temperatures, with some areas reaching up to 33 to 35 degrees Celsius or 91 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. In the Cretaceous African environment, Sue would have to need to adapt to a warmer climate with high sea levels and diverse ecosystems. Physical adaptations, such as her size and power, would have been advantageous. Both behavioral adaptations would have been crucial for survival. Warm climate. The Cretaceous was a warm period with higher sea levels and many shallow inland seas. Sue would have needed to conserve energy and regulate her body temperature in the heat. This might have involved seeking shade, using water sources wisely, or adjusting her behavior to peak activity during cooler parts of the day. High sea levels. Sea levels were significantly higher than today, meaning coastal areas would have been more prone to flooding and habitat changes. Sue would have had to navigate changes in landscapes and find food sources along these fluctuation coastal lines. Diverse ecosystems. Africa during the Cretaceous was home to various of dinosaurs and other creatures. Sue would have need to learn to coexist with other predators, find prey in competitive environments, and adapt to changing food web. Behavioral adaptations. Social behavior. Whether Sue was a solitary hunter or living in a small group, understanding and navigating social dynamics within her own species and with other creatures would have been crucial for survival. Hunting strategies. Adapting her hunting tactics to the available prey and the changing environment would have been key. This might involve learning to hunt in different terrains or rely on different types of prey depending on the seasons or availability. Navigation and migration. Understanding the local landscape, seasonal changes, and potentially migration patterns will have been crucial findings, food, and shelter. Physical adaptations. While Sue's size and powerful bite would have been advantageous, her ability to regulate her body temperature, navigating diverse terrain, and adapt to the changing environment would have been equally important for long-term survival. In the Cretaceous period in Africa, it had some similar prey items that Sue used to hunt back in her time. Titan, a sauropod that weighs 55 to 77 tons, reaching lengths of up to 85 to 90 feet, and 30 feet tall. Yes, while sauropods are not on T-Rex's primarily food sources, Tyrannosaurus Rex likely did occasionally hunt sauropods, particularly small and weak individuals. Evidence suggests that they might have also scavenged, but active predation of sauropods is also possible. So Sue would just target smaller and older prey attendants. Relative to Ankylosaurus, the Ouranosaurus, weighing 2.4 to 4.4 tons, 23 to 27 feet long, and 10 feet tall. A somewhat perfect meal with less meat. Out of these two dinosaurs for prey, and the best one that Sue will mostly hunt would be the Ouranosaurus. Yes, y'all probably thinking, wait, Sue sometimes hunts sauropods. Why can't she just target smaller and older individuals? Well, it's something called being in a herd. Like, for instance, if a pack of lions attack a herd of elephants, the adult elephants would form a particular circle, keeping the little ones safe in the middle. Parallel titans might not perform a particular circle, but they might keep the younger ones in the middle of the herd. Same thing with older elephants. Healthier and younger elephants play a vital role in protecting older elephants, especially in defensive situations against predators. Older elephants, while experienced, may be less capable of defending themselves, so it makes us believe that if an older parallel titan is in danger from a predator, there will be a healthier parallel titan to help it out. So Sue will not hunt parallel titans in a herd, but probably will hunt a parallel titan when an older or younger individual wanders away from the herd. Now it's time for Sue to meet the competitors of Africa. Rugops, weighing 900 pounds, 1470 feet long, and 8 feet tall. Not good. Deltadromeus, weighing 3 tons, is 25 feet long, and 8 feet tall. Also not good, due to both of their smaller size and lightweight. Carcharodontosaurus, weighing 7.72 tons, 39.7 feet long, and 11.48 feet tall in a pack. And Spinosaurus, weighing 78 tons, 49 feet long, 12 feet tall, knuckle walking, but 16 feet tall if reared up. Yeah, those are stories. Brace yourselves. Carcharodontosaurus pack versus Sue. In a hypothetical fight, Sue the Tyrannosaurus Rex would likely win against the pack a Carcharodontosaurus. While Carcharodontosaurus is a large theropod dinosaur with powerful slashing attacks, the T-Rex possesses stronger jaws and a more advanced overall build. Here's why. Bite force. Tyrannosaurus Rex is known for having the most powerful bite force of any land animal, making it a formidable opponent in a direct confrontation, size and strength. While Carcharodontosaurus is large, the T-Rex is generally considered stronger, with more robust skeletal structure and musculature. Evolutionary advantages. The T-Rex considered a more evolved theropod with advantages in overall build, bite strength, and potentially speed for some reason. Social behaviors. The Carcharodontosaurus, being a predator, might be more inclined to attack in a pack, but a single, more powerful T-Rex could still be a match for a group. While a pack of Carcharodontosaurus could potentially overwhelm the T-Rex sheer numbers, the T-Rex's superior bite and overall strength will likely give it an edge in a direct confrontation. Spinosaurus vs. Sue. In a face-off between Sue and Spinosaurus aegypticus, Sue the Tyrannosaurus Rex will likely win. While Spinosaurus may have a reach advantage and more adapt to water, Sue's superior bite force, strength, agility, and overall physical advantages on land would give her the edge in a terrestrial encounter. We are going to be completely honest with you guys. If these two dinosaurs did encounter one another, it wouldn't be a fair fight at all. Why you may ask? Well, we'll let our friend the Dinoflex explain. He told us the sentence of the Spinosaurus when he was making the video of the Carcharodontosaurus. Here it is. Where in some places they would share territory with Spinosaurus, however, both dinosaurs have specific niches, so they wouldn't likely have competed with each other very much. However, if they did clash, it would be nowhere near a fair fight, because Spinosaurus isn't really built for confrontations against larger dinosaurs. Carcharodontosaurus definitely is. So, yeah. Even if they do fight, it would obviously go to Sue, and possibly even in the water. Why now? Well, this little sentence from a prehistoric planet, when a T-Rex family was taking a swim, when a Mesozoic appears and hunts them, will explain a little more. An adult T-Rex, even in water, could still defend itself very effectively. So, yeah, a Tyrannosaurus Rex could fight well in the water too. Environmental score, 8.4 out of 10. Prey score, 10 to 10. Comparative score, 8.9 to 10. Cretaceous ultimate score, 9.7 to 10. Why? No struggles in this environment. She would use the same method she uses for Monosaurus and Allosaurus on the Tyrannosaurus and Parallel Titan, and have some to no troubles with comparative scores. I'm sorry, forget I said scores. Excuse me. By compiling all of our data of Sue's journey through all the 3 time periods from the Jurassic to Cretaceous, the Mesozoic survival score for Sue is 28.4 out of 30. 4.4 more points than Barney from the Overseer channel. Be sure to go subscribe to them. And be sure to check out the video where he did the April Fool's video opening Barney to the Cretaceous period. That's all for now. Take care, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, along with the dino facts, and continue to preserve your dreams. Bye-bye.